Hello and welcome to the Saintly Sounder, your source for all things FIFA. Today I will be indulging once again in your fetish for German target forwards in the Serie A, as I'm going to be taking a look at Man of the Match Gomez. A couple people asked me to review this guy. His stats are very good. I had hopes for him to be better than Klose. I'm going to review him independently of Klose in terms of gameplay footage and in the squad I used him in, but ultimately I'm going to come back around for the final analysis and compare him with Klose since they are similar and will fit in most squads. Alright, so here's the squad I used him in. As you can see, it's a slight variation of the 4-3-3 I ran with Klose. I did this after the 4-3-3-4. Didn't seem to get the most out of Gomez. It seemed that he dropped back a little bit. He does have medium work rates, but in this formation he's able to be complemented by Royce and Cuadrado very nicely. Here he is, he's 6'2", 2 inches taller than Klose. Medium work rates can be a problem. I had to set him to get in behind, press the back line, and to stay forward to be able to really get the most out of him. He still drops back a bit, but just like Klose, he is 4-star weak foot, 2-star skill, so you won't be doing a bunch of crazy skill moves with him. In 14 games at the club, one less than I gave Klose, he had 21 goals and 3 assists. Alright, so that is a very impressive tally for a striker, but when you consider Klose's 27-4 record there in 15, it's a little bit less, but still very good. Alright, so to start off with the good here, you might be worried about Gomez's low dribbling, and to be honest, he's not going to do a lot of skill runs, but he can do fake shots inside the box very well. As you can see, he maneuvers around, and he's never going to miss. If you can get him on his right, he's very good. Not as good as Klose, but to be honest, not many people are. He's going to consistently find the net, however, and you can trust him to put away just about any chance that he can get inside the box with a clear look. While I would say his touch can be a little questionable at times, here I tried a little bit too much with him. Don't try to sprint by with Gomez, it's not going to work. But here you can see it, he does have a tendency to be able to pull off some things that you wouldn't think he'd be able to, and again, you can just basically blast it. He's got a lot more shot power than Klose, and he allows you to get away with a lot more. As you can see, that made my opponent quit there. But perhaps the factor I was most looking forward to using was his added height plus his good jumping for being a 6'2" guy, and he is a very good aerial threat. He has 78 or 80 jumping, very good for such a big man, and you will score a lot of headers with him. He's not cheat code like Klose, but I would say in the realm of normal men, he is very good in the air, and you will score plenty. He's especially deadly if you do crash the keeper spot, as you're about to see in this video. I play the ball near post to Gomez, and he's just going to put it in the back of the net. Really, on corners, he can assert his dominance. I mean, that is a 1 in a million type header, and Gomez can do it with regularity. He is very good on that well-clothed head of his. Also to note, I didn't take a lot of long shots with him. He feels okay on them. Honestly, if you can get him into the box, he's a lot better. He doesn't feel overly likely to score. But his link-up play is also pretty good. He tends to sit back a little bit here, and he's going to find that perfect ball to Cuadrado. He suits the 4-3-2-1 well, because if he does leak back, he can support guys. There's going to be other wingers bombing up the field to support, and he's more than capable of finding a pass, and he's decent for a striker in terms of ability to play long through balls. Alright, so although he's not pacey, his strength does allow him to stay away on breakaways if you can get past shoulder length. There you can see he does a nice shimmy move, and although he blows a 15-yard lead, he still had the strength to push it off, which Klose cannot do. Unfortunately, he missed that chance. He isn't a pace guy, so I wouldn't abuse it with Gomez if I were you. Ultimately, these are your moments. Half chances, bad angles, his good finishing, and his good enough shot power really makes a difference, and it can change a game for you. As you can see, he can't even believe it there. He's able to fit it high and near post, which really is the area where he feeds most on. I wouldn't have expected to score that, but Gomez says that he's going to take it all the way. Alright, so here's the final breakdown for Man of the Match Gomez. In parentheses is what I gave Klose to better inform you about what kind of player you're getting in comparison to a player that I think is one of the better players in the game in terms of targetmen. I give Gomez an 8.3 out of 10. Again, he's a pure target man, so he's not skilling. He's not going to be able to pace by guys, which kind of makes him more two-dimensional than a lot of the other super unique players. So I knocked him there. Breakaways, this is purely on his strength ability. He doesn't feel any faster than Klose, but because he has more strength, he's actually able to hold off challenges. Although I wouldn't recommend pacing with him, he is able to survive a shoulder barge, which Klose could not. Inside the box, 8.8 out of 10. Considering Klose was probably one of the best inside the box finishers I've ever used, 8.8 out of 10 is still very good. That puts him in the very top tier for me. You can count on Gomez to score right, left, finesse, power, inside, outside, anything you expect he can do inside the box. Outside the box, although I didn't score any, he did feel a little bit better than Klose and felt like he might be capable of scoring them. Of course, inside the box is his forte, so I wouldn't focus on outside of the box shots with Gomez. His skill running, a little bit higher than Klose only because of the strength factor. He feels a little bit more solid doing fake shots as well, but because he only has 2-star skills, he's not going to do too many skill runs anyway, but he can hold off 1 or 2 guys, which can be really useful. His heading, I give him a 9 out of 10. Not game-breaking like Klose, but still a top 10, top 5 aerial threat in the game. In his assisting for others, I give an exact same rating. Although Klose may be a better passer, Gomez drops back a little bit, probably more than you'd want because of his medium work rates, and he does find a couple decent balls, and he doesn't feel out of whack playing longer through balls, and his short game is also very good as well. Overall, I would still recommend Klose over Gomez, if only because the price difference. Gomez is a very good player and would be a great addition to your team if you have the coins. His price probably will go up as well. But ultimately, if you're playing the budget game, you can probably spend that 100,000 elsewhere to make a more complete team. I would recommend any way you can to fit Quadrado and Royce around either of them. It's a much bigger asset to have speedy, good dribbling, good shooting wingers to support a guy that's not going to be able to pace, not going to be able to skill. So overall, Gomez, very good player. Perhaps not as good as Klose, or at least a better value. He's not a better value than Klose, but overall a good buy. Alright, so if you found this at all interesting or helpful, like and subscribe. If you found it particularly interesting, you can share it. I'm on Twitch at the Saintly Sounder and on Twitter at the Red Death 329. My Twitch page now has my Twitch schedule, which I'll try to stick to. Although, of course, that being said, this Saturday is Valentine's Day, so I will not be broadcasting either on Twitch or on the YouTube channel. I thought it was best just to take the day off there. Until next time, see you on the pitch.